Welcome to the Elixir of Productivity Podcast, Episode 2. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you why motivation fails and what actually works. Have you ever woken up in the morning absolutely convinced that today will be the day you finally get your life together? You make your coffee, sit down at your desk, open your laptop, and say to yourself, "All right, let's do this." But then, an hour passes, 2 hours, and you're scrolling through your phone, feeling guilty, wondering, what's wrong with me? Where did all that motivation go? If that sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not broken. The truth is motivation fails. It fails for almost everyone, almost every time. And yet, we're constantly told to chase it, like some magic fuel that will solve all our problems. In this video, we're going to break down why motivation doesn't last, and more importantly, I'll show you what actually works instead. These are practical, science-backed strategies you can start using today, so that even when motivation disappears, you'll keep moving forward. Stay with me until the end, because I'll also share a powerful method you can use right now to build unstoppable momentum in your life. Why motivation fails? Motivation is unreliable. Think about it. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes, just like excitement, sadness, or even hunger. You can't control when it shows up, and you definitely can't force it to stick around. Here's the problem. Most people try to build their entire life on top of this fragile, unpredictable feeling. They wait to feel ready before starting the gym. They wait to feel inspired before working on their business idea. They wait to feel focused before studying. But if your progress depends on motivation, you'll spend most of your life waiting. Psychologists even have a name for this trap: the motivation trap. It's the belief that you need motivation to take action. But the reality is the opposite. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Here's a simple example. Have you ever felt lazy about working out, but once you forced yourself to start, suddenly you felt energized and motivated to keep going? That's the motivation trap in action. Waiting for motivation keeps you stuck. Taking action, even tiny action, creates momentum. The science behind it. Motivation is largely controlled by a chemical in your brain called dopamine. When you anticipate a reward, dopamine spikes. That's what gives you the push to get started. But here's the catch. Dopamine isn't about finishing tasks. It's about chasing them. That's why starting a new project feels exciting, but sticking with it feels hard. Your brain gets a dopamine rush from novelty, but as soon as the task becomes routine, the excitement fades. That's why motivation fails. It's designed to push you toward new things, not keep you consistent. So if motivation is temporary, what can we rely on instead? What actually works? There are strategies that work far better than motivation. Systems over goals. Most people set big goals. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to make 6 figures. I want to be more productive. But goals rely heavily on motivation. You're always chasing some distant outcome. Instead, build systems. A system is the daily routine or process that leads you toward success, whether you feel motivated or not. For example, instead of a goal like I want to write a book, make a system. I write 200 words every day at 8 a.m. Instead of a goal like I want to lose weight, create a system. I go for a 30-minute walk after lunch every day. Systems don't require you to feel inspired. They're automatic. The 2-minute rule. If a task feels overwhelming, scale it down to just 2 minutes. Want to read more? Read 1 page. Want to work out? Do 2 push-ups. Want to start studying? Open your notebook and write 1 sentence. It sounds almost silly, but here's the magic. Once you start, momentum kicks in. Reading 1 page often turns into a whole chapter. 2 push-ups turn into a full workout. The hardest part of anything is just starting, and the 2-minute rule makes starting effortless. Environment design. Your environment matters more than your willpower. If your phone is right next to you while you're working, you'll be tempted. If junk food is in your kitchen, you'll eat it. On the flip side, if your workspace is clean, your gym clothes are ready, and distractions are minimized, taking action becomes natural. Want to read more? Place a book on your pillow so you see it before bed. Want to eat healthier? Keep fruit on your counter instead of chips. Want to be more productive? Remove distracting apps from your home screen. Don't rely on motivation. Rely on smart environments. Identity-based habits. Instead of focusing on what you want to do, focus on who you want to become. For example, instead of saying, I want to quit smoking, say, I am not a smoker. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, say, I am a runner. When your identity shifts, your actions naturally follow. Motivation might push you for a week, but identity keeps you consistent for life. Accountability and social pressure. We're wired to care what others think. Use this to your advantage. Tell a friend your goals and ask them to check in. Join a group of people who already do what you want to do. Publicly commit, like posting your progress on social media. When others are watching, you're far less likely to quit. The power of routines. Motivation is unpredictable, but routines are reliable. If you always wake up and write for 20 minutes, eventually it becomes automatic. You don't think about whether you feel like it. You just do it. This is how athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs stay consistent. They don't rely on feeling motivated every day. They build routines that carry them forward. The truth about motivation. Motivation isn't useless. It can be a great spark. It's what gets you started. But if you want real, lasting success, you can't depend on motivation. You have to build systems, routines, environments, and habits that work even when you don't feel like it. It's not about being motivated every day. It's about being consistent every day. What you can do right now. It's called the one small win method. Here's how it works. 1. Pick one thing you want to improve. 2. Shrink it down to the smallest possible action. 3. Do it right now, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. For example, if you want to start exercising, stand up and do 5 squats right now. If you want to start writing, grab a pen and write 1 sentence. If you want to be more organized, clean 1 item off your desk. That's it. 1 small win. Because here's the secret. Small wins compound. 1 win leads to another, and before you know it, you're unstoppable. Closing. Motivation fails because it's temporary. It's not broken. You're not broken. It's just how the brain works. What actually works is building systems, routines, environments, and habits that carry you forward, even when you don't feel like it. You don't need to feel motivated to change your life. You just need to start small, consistent actions that compound over time. So the next time you think, I don't feel motivated, remind yourself, you don't need motivation. You need momentum. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how your entire life transforms. That's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And before you go, drop a comment below. What's one small one you're going to take today? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.